Loyalty. You believe it's real. You believe it lasts. But loyalty is just an illusion. Words spoken today, broken tomorrow. I've seen men swear it with their lives, then trade it for fear, money, or survival. And every time, the ones who trusted in loyalty were the first to fall. Now let me show you why the weak man clings to it, and why the strong man lets it burn. You've been told loyalty makes a man strong, but the truth is it makes him weak. The loyal man reacts before he thinks. He binds himself to promises, to faces, to flags, and he calls it honor. But honor built on loyalty is a leash, and the one holding it controls him. I've watched men destroy themselves in the name of loyalty. They followed blindly, walked into traps, fought battles that weren't theirs, and bled for causes that forgot their names. They weren't strong, they were predictable, and predictable men are the easiest to break. All it takes is pressure, a cruel word, a tempting offer, a threat to their pride, and loyalty snaps like glass. You think it's noble to stand by someone no matter what, but what happens when that someone turns on you? What happens when the loyalty you gave becomes the weapon used to gut you? Understand this. Loyalty is not strength. Loyalty is dependency, and dependency is weakness. If you want to rise above the weak, you must stop worshipping loyalty, because the moment you stop believing in it, you start to see the real power, and that power begins with control. Loyalty ties you to another man's will. Control ties other men to yours. That's the only difference that matters. The loyal man bends, waits, obeys. The man with control moves when he chooses, commands without raising his voice, and bends the room to his silence. Crowds chant loyalty to leaders who never knew their names. Soldiers swear loyalty to generals who spend their lives like coins. Workers give loyalty to men who replace them without thought. What does that loyalty buy? Nothing but chains, nothing but graves. The man who chases loyalty is always disappointed because it never lasts. The moment fear, temptation, or opportunity appears, the loyal break their oaths. But the man who understands control doesn't need promises. Fear, respect, and necessity are stronger than words. Loyalty fades. Survival does not. So ask yourself, do you want to be chained to another man's dream, or hold the chains yourself? Do you want loyalty, which crumbles, or control, which endures? History proves it. The loyal are forgotten, but the man with control is remembered. And once you see loyalty as nothing more than a trade, a mask men wear until they find a better offer, you'll understand why betrayal is inevitable. Loyalty is never free. It's bought, traded, and rented. Men act loyal only while it serves them. The moment the cost is greater than the reward, loyalty disappears. I've seen it countless times. A man swears loyalty in the morning, then sells it by nightfall for money, safety, or power. He tells himself he's still honorable, but the truth is simple. His loyalty was never to you, only to his own survival. This is why loyalty cannot be trusted. It isn't rooted in strength, it's rooted in need. Men stay loyal when they need you. They leave the moment they don't. Understand this and you'll never be surprised again. You'll stop mistaking words for bonds. You'll stop expecting permanence from something designed to vanish. Because loyalty isn't a promise, it's a transaction. And when the payment ends, betrayal begins. Betrayal isn't rare, it's certain. When pressure comes, loyalty breaks. Men you trust today will sell you out tomorrow. Not from hatred, but from survival. I've seen friends switch sides for money. Brothers vanish when danger grows close. They called it necessity. I called it truth. Loyalty was never real, just waiting for the right price. The mistake is thinking betrayal is the exception. It's not. It's built into loyalty itself. That's why men who expect loyalty are always shocked. Men who expect betrayal never are. So don't be surprised, anticipate it, plan for it, and when it comes you won't fall, you'll already be standing. The man who stops believing in loyalty can never be broken by betrayal. Your face is your mask, your first weapon. Show nothing and no one owns you. Loyalty fades, but mystery lasts. I've sat across from men who wanted to read me. Killers, liars, desperate gamblers. They searched for fear, weakness, or excitement. I gave them nothing. And when they saw nothing, they doubted themselves. That's when I'd already won. Understand this. Your silence is power. Your stillness makes others uneasy. A smile when you choose, a frown when it serves you, every expression calculated, nothing by accident. Because once they can't read you, they can't control you. And when they can't control you, loyalty becomes irrelevant. The mask makes you untouchable. But to hold it, you need discipline. Most men cling to brotherhood because they fear standing alone. They call it loyalty, but it's only weakness disguised as comfort. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't leave you when pressure comes. It doesn't vanish when temptation arrives. Discipline is the shield that protects you and the sword that builds you. While others waste nights chasing loyalty from friends, you rise early, you train, you build. They depend on each other for strength. You depend only on your discipline. That's why they crumble when loyalty breaks and you remain standing. Brotherhood ends when fear or money interferes. Discipline never ends. And the man who chooses discipline over brotherhood doesn't just survive, he builds an empire. And when the pressure grows heavy, discipline is the only thing that holds. Loyalty is loud when life is easy. Men swear it at the table, boasting over drinks, promising they'll never fold. In calm times, loyalty feels unbreakable, but calm times never last. When pressure comes, loyalty cracks. I've seen it too many times. A threat to pride, the lure of money, the shadow of fear, and suddenly the loyal man is gone. He runs, he switches sides, he protects himself first. That's the truth. Pressure exposes everything. It strips away words, it burns through promises, and it shows loyalty for what it is. Temporary. A fragile shield that shatters the moment survival calls louder, but discipline doesn't vanish under pressure. Control doesn't disappear. Silence doesn't break. They harden, they sharpen, they become unshakable. That's why the man who lives by loyalty collapses, and the man who lives by discipline endures. Remember this. Loyalty is a fire that dies in the storm. Discipline is the stone that survives it. And when loyalty fails, as it always will, strategy takes its place. Revenge fueled by loyalty is reckless. It's loud, messy, and driven by emotion. Men rush in with rage, believing they fight for honor, when in truth they fight blind. And blind men always lose. The disciplined man is different. He doesn't chase revenge in anger. He doesn't burn his strength in the moment. He waits, he studies, he plans. Revenge to him is not about loyalty or pride. It's about control. I've seen men destroy themselves for revenge. They moved too fast, exposed too much, revealed their weakness. And in their fury, they lost everything. But I've also seen the opposite. The man who stayed silent, who played the loyal friend, who smiled as if nothing had changed. And when the time was right, he struck, clean, cold, final. Understand this, true revenge has nothing to do with loyalty. Loyalty screams, I must act now. Control whispers, wait, watch, strike when it matters, and the man who listens to control always wins. So ask yourself, will you waste your strength chasing revenge out of loyalty, or will you master the patience that makes revenge complete? Because in the end, it isn't the loyal man who survives, it's the calculated one. Loyalty dies with the man who swore it. The moment he's gone, his promise fades into silence. That's why building on loyalty is like building on sand. It shifts, it disappears, it leaves nothing behind. But legacy outlives every oath. Men may forget what they swore, but they never forget what you built. They never forget the results. They never forget the power that forced them to remember your name. I've seen men spend their lives chasing loyalty from friends, from soldiers, from family, and when those bonds broke, as they always do, they were left with nothing. No empire, no legacy, just memories of words that no longer mattered. But the man who invests in discipline, in control, in strategy, leaves something behind that no betrayal can erase. While others cling to loyalty, he's busy carving his name into stone. Not because others stayed true, but because he stayed unshakable. Understand this, loyalty is temporary, legacy is eternal. Men may abandon you, promises may break, but the empire you build will outlast them all. And once you stop seeking loyalty, once you stop depending on oaths and start building in silence, you'll see the truth. Loyalty doesn't matter, legacy does. And that brings you to the final lesson, your transformation. Now you see it, loyalty was never real. It was the illusion that kept you chained, waiting for others to protect you, to stand by you, to stay true, and every time they failed. Because that's what loyalty does, it fails. But you don't need loyalty. You need discipline. You need control. You need silence. These don't vanish when pressure rises. They don't betray you when the cost grows high. They stay. They sharpen. They make you dangerous. So this is your mission. Stop begging for loyalty. Stop expecting it from friends, from family, from anyone. Cut that illusion out of your blood. From this day forward, you owe yourself only discipline. Wake earlier, train harder, speak less. Show nothing you don't mean to show. And never ever give your power to the word loyalty. Because men who chase loyalty are forgotten, men who master discipline are feared, respected, remembered. And you are no longer a man who clings to illusions. You are becoming untouchable. You are becoming calculated. You are becoming the one others cannot read, cannot bend, cannot break. Loyalty is just an illusion. Power is real, and power belongs to the man who builds it with his own hands, in silence, without waiting for anyone to stand beside him.